Welcome back to Mastering MMA. I'm Coach Lee here with you. Today we're going to be talking about handling defeat. So that's kind of a part of every sport in general. It's very few people that go through their entire lives not getting beat at some point or another. So I've been coaching for a long time, not just MMA, other sports also. And I have seen a whole lot of losses and piles of people handle it different. Probably thousands of different ways I've seen people handle losses. And I think a lot of it depends on what kind of loss it is, right? I've had guys lose fights that, legitimately should have went the other way. Like it really wasn't even that close of a fight. Flip side of the coin, I've had guys that I've coached that should have lost the fight and won. Judges are pretty unpredictable. I've seen fights get stopped way early, right? I've seen fights get stopped way late. I've seen guys dominate a fight and then end up getting caught in something and losing. It happens, right? The thing is how you deal with it, right? How do you rebound from that? So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. So my first two fights I lost. I won everything after that, but my first two I lost. The very first guy I fought, it was my debut, and it was his 8th or 9th fight, something like that. He had a pile. It wasn't who I was matched up against. My guy ended up backing out for whatever reason, I don't remember. But anyways, I ended up fighting this guy, and it was his 7th or 8th fight, something like that. Maybe it was his 9th, but he had quite a few fights. He had been in the game for quite a while, and I got the better of the stand-up, but we hit the ground, and he was light years beyond where I was at that point. I was playing with preschool toys, and he was playing chess. It wasn't even close. But went home, licked my wounds, got back at it. The next fight was a really close fight. I was told that I was winning the fight, but it was close, right? Who knows? Could have gone either way at the judges. But I ended up throwing a triangle. The guy pushed through it. We ended up rolling, and I ended up being mounted, but he was facing my feet. So I was staring at his back. I was still new to the game. I mean, it was my second fight, and I really hadn't been training all that long yet. I'd never been in that position before, so I just did what I would do if I was mounted, which was start to shrimp, which, looking back on it, knowing now, I should have just grabbed around his waist and started to take his back. But, I was green. It happens. I started shrimp, exposed my back. He got in a rear naked choke. I fought it off for 49 seconds before the lights went out. Next thing I knew, I was staring at the doctor, and I was like, oh, I didn't make it out of the choke, huh? He told me no, and I got up, and that was that. But they drove me. I didn't fight for a while, but I was in the gym constantly, right? Because I knew I was better than that. At that point, I was like, I'm at least gonna go even. So at that point, I trained for a long time, and then I got on a winning streak after that and didn't lose again for the rest of my career. But the thing is, like I was always much better after every fight, win or lose. But those two losses just burnt me, right? It was fuel for the fire. I used that to train harder. And I really think that's why I became so dominant after that, is that was always in the back of my mind. Those two losses, that defeat, like I didn't ever want to feel it again. So I put everything I could into my preparation for my fights. That being said, going into my fights, not only did I feel very confident about it, I didn't worry about the loss anymore at the end, right? I realized that I was putting everything I could into getting ready for this fight. So win or lose, I'd done what I could do. right? There was nothing else I would really think that I could do to change the outcome, right? Win or lose, I had put everything into my training. I gave it 100%, and I was comfortable with that, right? If I would have lost, I would have lost. Would have sucked, you know. I wouldn't have been happy about it, but I could live with it because I knew I didn't short myself. So if you take a loss, try to use that as fuel for it, right? I've seen people take a loss and just show up and they disappear, and you don't see them in the gym for months and months and months, and then they quit, or they'll come back and want to jump right back into a fight. They haven't been training for months. They want to jump right into a 6-week fight camp or 8-week fight camp. Sometimes it was shorter than that, right? So they would go into that next fight coming off a loss, and in the back of their mind, they had to know they hadn't done everything they could to get ready for the fight. So the biggest thing is, like, if you need to, take a week, take 2 weeks if you need to, but don't abandon your training, right? If you lose, use that to fuel that fire, get that drive back. In general, I think if you have a fight, you should take a little bit of time off, right? Because your body's just went through so much between training and your cardio, getting ready and cutting weight. Like, your body's been through a pile. Like, give it a couple days at least to rest and relax. You know, if you win, great, enjoy it, celebrate a little bit, right? If you lose, that's fine. Figure out why you lost. Get with your coaches, right? Review the film. You pick yourself apart. Losses should equal lots of learning, right? I talked earlier about how I ended up in that like reversed mount situation. I know what to do now. Like, that will never happen to me again. I will never make that mistake again, ever. My very first loss, I got hit with a spinning armbar. He spun from one side of my body. He was top side control, spun around to the other side and attacked my opposite arm, right? I went and worked on that, right? I can feel that coming now. I don't worry about that too much. It doesn't surprise me anymore. At that point, I was like, what just happened, right? How did he attack my other arm? I watched it, I learned from it, right? Those things don't happen. And you can do that not just in your fights, right? If you're getting caught with something in practice, figure out why, right? Ask the person that's catching you. They're your teammates. That's what they're there for, to help you learn. And you're there to help them learn, right? If you can learn to start defending it, then they have to move to option B. Let's say you're getting caught in a guillotine, right? If you learn to defend his original attack, then he's got to move to the next option, right? So both of you all are getting better out of that. But I'm getting a little off subject here. Dealing with losses, right? Get with your team. They will support you. I know it feels like the whole world's disappointed in you. They're not, right? Most of the whole world isn't brave enough to step in a cage, right? And you've got to know that. You're doing something that most of the world would never even attempt. Half of it's probably never even crossed their mind, right? So you've gone above and beyond what 90% of people are doing, right? So what? You took a loss. It's a 50-50 chance in there, right? One person's going to win, one person's going to lose. On occasion, there's a draw, but in general, you're going to have a winner and a loser, right? Out of the two people. So it's a 50-50 split there. So don't beat yourself up over it, right? Don't just be like, oh well, you know, learn from it. Go back, look and see what you did wrong, look and see what you did right. But don't let it ruin your journey as a martial artist. Use it as fire and keep training. Anyways, that's what I have to say today about people taking losses and how to deal with them. I hope this helps. Let me know what you all think about taking losses, and how you all take them and how you all react, and what you think the best way to do it is. And if you haven't yet, definitely hit like for this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this all over your social media if you can. And we will catch you next time on Mastering MMA with Coach Lee.